Good evening. If you would, could you take out your phones real quick? Yep. Go ahead and open up your camera app and point it at yourself. Don't take a picture, just point it at yourself and look. That's funny. Some of y'all are fixing y'all's hair right now and all this stuff. That's good. Okay, y'all can put them away. That's great. Each day, when you wake up, oftentimes the first thing you do is look in the mirror. You wake up, you brush your teeth, hopefully, and you look in the mirror, right? That's not the only thing that we evaluate in our days. We wake up, we decide where we want to eat, we decide what's the best route to take to school, we decide what texts are we going to respond to in the morning. There's all these things that our culture has taught us to evaluate. I'm not saying it's a bad thing that we do this, because this is necessary, but there's a second type of evaluation that is much, much more important and much more life-changing than that. My name is Langemeier, and I'm a senior at Brook Hill. And what life has taught me thus far is the importance of self-evaluation. About a year ago, I was not in a great place as a person. You could ask my parents. I was kind of rejecting the people around me. I was very selfish, lazy, careless with my time. And I knew in the moment, like, this is not who I want to be. This is not who I want to be, but I kept acting in that way. And so the summer came, and I've gone to Pine Cove for like 12 years, and I was just like, this is going to be another year. I'm going to be at camp. It's going to be fine. But at camp, you spend a lot of time doing self-evaluation. And this summer was really different because it was more painful than it had been in the past, because I was someone that I didn't want to be, and I was like, gosh, God, I know this isn't who I want to be to those around me, but also to you. And it's a painful thing to come to realize, but it was so beneficial for me as I moved forward, and I learned to align my values and my goals with my decisions. And that's very important. I think when we talk about self-evaluation, it's really easy to be focused on the negatives and the things that we're struggling with in our lives. But that's not the only thing that you can evaluate and learn from. When I was 16, I got my first phone. I did not have a phone for the first 16 years of my life. And no social media, no texting. I would call my friends from my mom's phone, and it was always hilarious. But I vividly remember my freshman year, I was down this hallway, actually, right down there, and I was sitting on the couch, on the sophomore couches, and I was looking around at everybody, and they were all glued to their phone. And it was crazy to me. But I learned a very valuable lesson, looking back on it now. I was not, in the moment I was like, it's whatever. But I looked back on it, and I realized that it's okay to be the only person not doing something. And that's one of the most valuable lessons I've learned in my life. That as I go off into college, it's going to be okay to not go to that party. It's okay while I'm in high school to not go out and drink with my friends. It's okay to study and make good habits and good choices as I live. Psalm 139, King David wrote it, and there's a verse in there that says, "Search my heart, O God, see if there be any unclean way in me." David knew that the Lord knew him the best, right? He knew his thoughts, he knew his habits, he knew everything about David, and David was okay with that. He was okay to sit and be like, God, I know you know me, and I want to fix what's wrong with me so that I can align my heart with what your heart is. And I think this pattern by David that we see is exactly how we should live. And I'm not saying that it may be with God or whatever it may be, but you have to be able to sit down and be like, are the choices that I'm making in line with my goals and my values? So I challenge you, as you go throughout the rest of your night, and I'm sure this probably won't stick for forever, but I challenge you to evaluate your decisions and face the tough questions. Face the hard questions that may be painful to answer, because it's only through honest self-evaluation that we can make meaningful change. Thank you.